Hello everyone, here in this video tutorial I will explain the basics of MATLAB programming, and here is the content which I have to explain in this video. Along with the MATLAB program, I also have opened the Paint. So I have created different script files, the MATLAB code, and if it's necessary I will explain the code or the program which I have to perform using the Paint, so you can get an idea visually as well. So previously we have done a lot related to load flow analysis and MATLAB simulation, microgrid simulation, optimization algorithms. So you may take a look at our channel, and this is the video. This is the basic part and I will try my best. So if you are noob to MATLAB programming and if you know something about MATLAB, after watching this complete video tutorial you will be able to write your own MATLAB program, and you can work on different objective functions and different MATLAB programs, and you can achieve your own project as well. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. So right now let me maximize my MATLAB program, and here are different sections in MATLAB. So this is home. Here you can see that Simulink, layout, preferences. So and in plots not much to do. So this is the plot section, apps, editor, publish and view. So normally most of the time we have to deal with this editor section, and in editor section when we create a program, so let me start with creating a script. So you can go into home section and click on new script, and here is new script. Let me close all. Right click here and close all the current script files, and here I have created on new script, and here you can see. So for example, if I want to assign a variable 5 and b equals to 7, so I just assign two variable, first variable with 5 and the second variable with 7, and here you can see that there is a star here. So this star here means that we have to save this file. So when I go back into editor section and let me click on run, so it's now asking for the location where I have to save it. You may rename it. So let me rename this to example, and here is the m file. We can create .mlx file, but here we are creating .m file. So example, and we are creating .m file. So in name, for example, example1. So let me click on save. So it said that this is not the correct way to create a file with space. So I just have to remove the space, and I'm not able to create include special characters. Yeah, I can include underscore, or I can include even the dashes are not included. So let me click on so if you are putting a wrong name, then there will be issue that you have to adjust the name. So let me save it. So now that file is saved here, example1. Okay, and now let me go into the editor section and let me click on run. So when I click on run, here you can see in my, so this is the current folder where the MATLAB files are. We can change that too. Let me click here, current folder, and if I have the MATLAB files on different drive, I can open that too, or similarly. So we can open the MATLAB files using this folder. And there is another way to create a script file. Right click here, click on new and click on script, and here you can rename it to example2 or etc. and double click here, and this will be created here. So these are the examples which we have created here. Okay, and now let me open the example. Okay, so this is the folder section. These are the details for each file. Sometimes example code for importing data from a CSV file. So let me click on table, no data available, array, creating, and so it will show us a little details about it. So also you can adjust the layout section in the MATLAB program. So here is the command window. Let me left click and hold, and here you can see that it's just double click here and it will maximize that section. Let me double click again, left click. Okay, current folder, and let me show you. Double click here. When you click on double, here you can see a section. When you click on that, you will be back to that layout. So as per my experience, this is the best layout, and you can adjust that too as per your so you have to just left click and hold, and then you can drag it. So if you want to put it on above the editor, so I have to put on above the editor, and similarly you can move it to any position as per your liking. So this should be your own choice. So this is the editor section. This section you can also see here, editor section. In editor section we have to write the script or the code. So in editor section we have to write the code, and in the current folders we can see the folder of that MATLAB program. So let me for example, let me click on this script file. So if we have a script here, and just like this one, this is the particle swarm optimization algorithm, and I want to click on run. When I click on run, it give me a choice that would you like to change folder, or you want to add to path. But I will recommend you to change the folder. Why to change folder? Let me click on that, because my PSO file is on another folder and my course file is on another folder. So let me click on course, and I will click on change folder, and now I am into that folder. Let me go back into the PSO. Let me click on run and click on the change folder. So when I have a script file in MATLAB.m file, here you can see that .m file, these files called the script files. We have Simulink files, and in that Simulink files we have elements in blocks. So that's a different type of simulation, and I mean, so that's a different type of module. So here you can see that different modules, and we have to drag them with each other, and we have to connect them. So here you can see. Let me close that. Let me get back to the editor section. Let me run. So when I have a script file, I have to click on run to perform that. Okay, so here you can see that this program, I have run this program and it's done. So when I run this program in my workspace, a different kind of variables. Let me show you by the example one. In example one, I have one variable that I name as A and the second variable that I name as B. So when I click on run, there is some kind of, so whenever MATLAB is not working or not responding, just press Control and C, and it will break all the programs. Change folder. So Control and C. So that will break the current progress of the MATLAB, and it will get back to the initial position. So A equals to 5 and B equals to 7. Let me click on that. Okay, and here you can see, if this is the command window, and if I use, you can see that there are a lot mess, and if I want to clear each and everything, there is a command clc, clear command. So when I press on that, it will clear everything from my command window. And there is another instruction that is clear all, and it will clear all the variables from workspace. In workspace we have different kind of variables which we are on which we are working, or which we have assigned in our program. So let me click on clear all, and this thing will clear all the variables from the workspace. Let me click on, okay, so this thing clear everything from the workspace. Now this is the MATLAB program. Let me click on run. So when I click on run, I have two variables. First variable is 5 and second variable is 7, which is b. Let me open that. So in that you can see I have a and I have 5. Let me maximize it, and this is the b. Let me open that, and you can see that, you can also see here that b equals to 7. Also you can see by double click here, and it have only one number. So let me add more numbers, and if I want to add more numbers, let me make it 1 3 5 and 8 7 9 and 11. Okay, and here you can see red syntax error, that when I move my cursor, so it says that it's not the correct way to use them. So normally here we are going to create array. So this is the way to correct it, and let me make it inside the square brackets. Let me click on save, and okay, so this is some error related to import. Let me import, and let me click on, make it double T, and let me clear it. Okay, and let me click on run, and here you can see that on my a variable I have 3 numbers, and on my b variable I have another 3 numbers. Also, if I want to make this is a row matrix, and if I want to make it a column matrix, means I want to the numbers in one column, so I have to add the semicolons here. Let me click on save, let me click on run. So here you can see that now we have 7 9 11. Okay, and there is semicolon which is after the square brackets, and if I click on that, up to now you have seen that when I click on run, nothing display in the command window, but variables are displayed in the workspace. So that means if we want to express our output into workspace, then we have to add the semicolon. Let me run on that. When I run without this semicolon next to this square brackets, if semicolons are not present next to the end of square brackets, we have the variable displayed in our command window. So this is the command window, this is the workspace folder. Okay, and previously I have explained that how you can change their positions. So let me get back to the course, and if you want to change the font, and let me show you that, you have to click on the editor home, and here you can click on preferences, and in editor here you can see the fonts. So from here you may adjust the fonts and style if you want, but this is good for me. And next we have to, and one more thing, and here I have 2 variables. Let me clear my command window only. I have cleared my command window, but my variables are still in the workspace. So if I place a and I hit enter, it will show my variables data which is inside this a. Let me again CLC, and if I want to 5 plus a, and if I want to add 5 to a, I mean I want to add 5 to each element of matrix A, then it will add 5 to each matrix. So it's just like the basic math of operations and matrices. So MATLAB is mostly dealt with the matrix operations, so that's why it's high level language and it's very easy to understand and perform mathematical calculations. So let's move into this section 2, MATLAB variables and basic operations. So I have already write MATLAB code for it, and let me explain it. So here are my variables. Let me in start of that write clear all, and let me CLC. Okay, there is one more thing, and that is into my editor section. If I want to start a debugger here, and the function of debugger is that if I want to execute this MATLAB code in steps, means if I click on run, when I click on run here, it will immediately run the complete program. Let me press Ctrl C. Okay, let me click on run again. Okay, so when I click on run, it will execute the complete program in a second, but I want to run the program in steps, means I want to see how each line is performing in this MATLAB program. So when there is a different MATLAB program or a large files, then it's my recommendation is to initialize the debugger and execute each line. When you understand one line, move to another one. So I have to left click here, and there will be a red circle initialized here. So this is actually the debugger. So this will help us to execute each line. So when I click on run, and now I am at the first line, I mean at the second line of this MATLAB script file. Let me click on step. So what this does remove all the content from variables and workspace. In workspace we have different variables, and I have just opened the variables here right now. So now at this point I have a semicolon next to 5, means I don't want to show a equals to 5 here in command window. So let me move this, and let me keep that. Let me quiet debugging, and let me click run again. So when I click on run again, so also another thing, whenever you made a change, just like let me remove this column, whenever you do a change, you will see a red you will see a star here, means that you need to save that program. So when I click on save, so definitely that will interrupt my current selection or progress. So my current progress ends, and I have to start the program again. So whenever you made a change, just make a change and save it, and then run the program again from start. So let me click on run, and here a equals to 5, which is not shown here. That is shown only here in workspace, and this is without the semicolon. Let me click on step. Here you can see that B displayed here as well be displayed in the workspace. So whenever you have to display something, just remove the semicolon from that end, and that will show you the output here in the command window, and also that variable will be stored in the workspace. So here I have initialized another variable. So if, for example, if I want to remove the semicolon, let me again I have to save it. Let me move my circle here instead of start. Let me click on step. So here it shows that there is an error, undefined function add for input argument for the type. So here we have done a mistake, and that mistake is that in MATLAB this will not if we have in next few instructions I will show you the different ways, but here we have to initialize a underscore. So this is a variable, this is actually name of a variable. We can name it anything, we can name it add result, we can name it ad, ab, ac, anything. So this is just a variable which we have to give it a name. Let me click on run again, let me click on step, and now add result a plus b, I have to plus a plus b, and if I put semicolons here, then add result will not be displayed here, and it will be displayed only into it will be only in the workspace. Okay, let me move back, let me move further into different kind of operators. So that's how we can deal with the different kind of operators, plus, minus, multiply, divide, and such stuff. So let me click on step, and now we have initialized c and d, here you can see, but that are not displayed in our command window. And next let me click on step and disp. So we want to disp here, we want to display what we want to display, this variable. So this instruction is extra. Let me make, okay, let me select this instruction and let me click on comment. So when I click on comment, means the editor will not consider it as an instruction and make it let me make it back. So editor will not consider the content next to this percentage, this comment. This is for our understanding for the humans, and editor will consider only this. So instead of that, let me remove semicolon from that. Let me click on save, and let me click on run. So I click on run here, and divide results is equals to 5. So when I divide the 10 by 2, the result is 5. So in divide results is 5 and add results is 8. Okay, let's proceed to next section, and which is related to the MATLAB functions and script files. So let me open the MATLAB functions. I have created a folder related to that, and that is MATLAB functions. So the main principle of that, let me open the main. Here I have two files. Let me open the main and add numbers. So here I have two files. So this is the main file and this is the add numbers. So for example, if I have inputs and outputs, and I have equation, and I have equation which I have to call at different section. So let me show you explain that using the paint. So for example, this is the file 1, or the section where we have the input and the output. We have to deal with the output, and we have to display that output in a different way. And this is the file with the objective function. So this is the file with the objective function, and consider that we have let me select that, and consider that in this file, which is our main file, we have to call our objective function multiple times. So first time we will give our input to that objective function, we will get the output back. And secondly, for example, at this time again we have to call our objective function, we will again give our input which is refine here, the input which we refine here. Again we will put again that input to our objective function, and we will get our final output of the objective function. So that's how the function files works. So let me explain here too. So this is the main file, and in main file I have first variable 10 and second variable is 7, and I want to sum that numbers. I want to sum that number. So let me clear here. And there is one more instruction, which is close all. So close all is to close all the plots which we get from the MATLAB program. So let me click on enter. Let me click on red circle here, and I want to move into the let me place another red circle here by left click here. Let me click on run. So when I click on run, my uh, my so when I click on the run button, my instructions or my program will execute the previous lines and move next to the point where I have placed the red circle. So here in this section, so this is the add numbers. So this is the function file. So this is the function name, and this function name is saved as add numbers.m. So means at this line we are going into the add numbers file. So in add numbers file, this is the xy, which is input, which we give here. So this input, we want to put this input into the add numbers section. So let me click on step, and when I click on step here, you can see previously it was xy and here it's AB. Just remember the position. So first one will be the x, and first one here we represent A. So name can be different, no need to worry, but the placement is important. And second one was the y, which was actually the 7. So second we name here the B. So we have to give 10 and 7, and here we have add 10 plus 7, and that is actually the result. And after adding the 1 and 2, here we have the output. So this is the output result. So the output which we get as result here, we have to replace that output with the sum. So when I click on step, okay, and here in case of result I have 17. Let me click on step, and here when I click on step, so that 17 will be replaced with the sum. And here in that case, let me show you another thing. Let me click on, when I will be in this file, I have the variables which are active in this file, and when I will available in that file, I have variables which are activated here in this file. So that's how we create functions file, we deal with the different functions file. So we get rid a lot mess, and we and then I have to click on step, and here this sum, which is 17. So let me show you. For example, here at the moment I want to change means that I after getting initial input output from the add numbers, I want to change my input again. I want to modify my variables again, and then I want to call the function file again. So I will just, so means that initially we have input and then we have refine it. Let's call it refine it, and then we want to call the, let's save it, call the objective function again and again. Let me click on step, step. So now at this time, let me click on step. So at this point we have 300. So that's how we work with the function files. And let me show you one the example here, which is related to particle swarm optimization. And in particle swarm optimization, here you can see that we have the cost function. Let me click on step here. Let me click on run, left click here, debugger, click on change folder. So here at this point I have cost function. So let me just select that variable cost function, and here you can see that we have different sections. We have 3 highlights. So means cost function is used 3 times in this file. Let me click here, So here cost function, which is the defined here, and that is actually the sphere. Here you can see the cost function. Let me open that, and in cost function we have our function which is sphere. So in sphere section, so this is the cost function, and cost function actually represent the sphere section. So means that our cost function in the PSO file, which is used 3 times here, here, and here. Our cost function is used 3 times here, and each time cost function represent the sphere. So when I will be here at this point, and in my next step, my program or my next instruction will be the sphere.m, and then I will be from that MATLAB file, I will be here in this sphere section. So that's how the function files works. So if I want to click on the function file here, let me click here. So I will get an error because this function file is linked with the PSO file. So that function file is actually linked with this PSO file. When I click on this PSO file, so this PSO file will run and it will relate the content with the sphere or cost functions. So that's how it works. Now let's move to our next section, and which is working with arrays and matrices. Let me click on run and change folder. So this is the array matrices. I already have created some examples. So this is the matrix 1. So the comma, you may place comma or not, it's same. So let me show you there. Whenever you copy, let me clear, and let me clear variables, let me clear it. Okay, so when I write, so there are 2 ways to do a prompt or want to see what will be the output. You may put that code into or instruction into command window, or you can save into the file. So let me just write the instruction here, and let me hit the enter button, and here you can see that. So if I want to replace this thing, I want to remove the comma here. Again, this is similar. And what this semicolon is doing, that this semicolon is used here, that the first 3 are the first row, and the content next to the semicolon will represent to the will move to the second row, and this semicolon separates the second row with the third row. So this is the first row, this is the second row, and this is the third row, and this is separated by the semicolon. And what this is doing here, that matrix means we are in this matrix, and we want to consider this first number will represent the row, and the second number represent the column. So let me left click here, click on run, let me click on step. So here I have matrix, let me delete that. Yes, so here I have matrix, and it means that in the matrix variable, this is the matrix variable, I want to consider only second row. And which column? And I want to consider all its columns. Means that I want to take 4, 5. So this means that this matrix have 3 columns. column, second and third column, and we want to consider second row with the all three columns. So we want to get the data of 4 5 6. Let me click on step. So row 2, here you can see that 4 5 6, and if I want to take only 6, I will write this thing. Let me write here, I want to take second row and the third column, and it will show me the 6. And if I want to take another thing, on your arrow cursor on your keyboard, this thing, let me, this arrow column on your keyboard, when you click on that, you will see all the prompts which you execute recently or previously. So I want to consider this, I will select that, and I want to consider the second row and third row. So I will put colon here and 3. So colon most of the time will represent here the interval or the selection. So I want to choose consider the second row and the second row and third row, and the which column I want to consider only 3 columns. So in third column I want to consider the second row and the third row, so that is actually 6 and 9. So here we have 6 and 9. So that's how we can do perform with our matrices. And then we have to dispower row 2. So that's really simple, that's not an issue with that. And if I want to consider the any number, and I want to go with the all rows, and I want to go with the first column, so it will show me the 1 4 7. So that's how you can get any number, or you can replace any number. And even if I want to update this, and if I want to replace this variable, I mean if I want to second row and third column, and second row third column, and I want to change it with the 12, and here you can see that we have replaced that with the 12. So that's how you may deal with that. And here you can see in the example 2, this is the first row, this is the second row, first row, second row, and then you want to multiply it. You can easily do that, and you can do the multiplication easily in that program. So now let's move further to our next. Now we have completed the working with arrays and matrices. Next, let's jump into the control structures. So control structures are actually the if and else conditions. And in that, here you can see that we have a statement that grade equals to 85. We have assign grade 85, and then we want to see if the grades are greater or equals to 90. So let me adjust this a little bit, and I want to write, I don't want to fix here, I just want to make it a comment, and let me put it, I want to create a user prompt, input prompt grade, and I want to so this is the instruction for MATLAB program, and MATLAB will understand that I have to take an input from the user, give the grades. Okay, so let me click on, so I have created a user prompt that MATLAB will take the input from the user. So when I click on the run, just make sure you have saved the program, run. So it is asking from me that give me the grade. So let me consider, left click here, let me put 80, let me put the 82. So if grades are greater, so if the face is open toward the grades, means if our grades are greater than 90 or equals to, so it will display A, or we can mention the anything else display. Let me click on step. So it's not correct. So if our grades are greater than 80, yeah, it's greater than we have put 82. Let me click on step. So it will be into this and it will be display as the grade B. So that's how the if else conditions works. And even we can make it in more advanced. Let me show you that too. And in next, if we want to make example code for a for loop, and if we want to for loop, so I have just created a while loop with it. So we have understand that. So let me make it comment. And there is one more thing. If I want to make different sections within the MATLAB code, I will just place double comment here. So let me put double comment here again. So this is a different section. When I click here, it will be a different sections. So if you want to take it for your convenience, you want to make different sections within the MATLAB program, you can just start with the double comment or double percentage. So that will be just for our understanding, and MATLAB will ignore that. MATLAB will ignore single percentage and double as well. So here is our for loop, and we want to run it for 5 times. Also we can consider the while loop. So that's how while loop will consider. So let me click on the enter here. So it will be execute until our I is less than 5. When our I will be 5, so this will be end the this for loop. When I click on this, let me click on CLC. So now it's sorry, I have to I plus 1 instead of 0 plus I. So now you can see 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it will so now here you can see that when rows down means our program is ended. So now current our I is 5 and we are out of this while loop. And there is one more thing, there is a colon between the two numbers. So what does that mean? That 1 colon 5 means that we need numbers between 1 to 5, and if I want to add one more colon between it, so it means that my first number will be the first, and last number will be the 20, and what will be the interval between the 1 and 20, and interval will be the 5. So let me click on enter, and here you can see that first one will be the 5 and second will be the 1 plus 5. There is a difference between 5 or interval of 5, 11, 16, and the next will be the 21, but our maximum is 20. So that's how we deal with it. So this the colon operator works in such a way. And now let's jump into our next, and that is plotting and data visualization. So this is the plotting, and previously let me clear the command window. This is the X, and this is the first one, and this will be the last one. I mean we have to start from 0 and we have to end up at 2 multiplied by pi, and our interval will be the 0.1. Let me click on left click here and let me click on step, and let me click on step. Here you can see that we have X. So we have our if I put X here and put enter, and here we have the numbers here. So we have 63 numbers here, and there is one more thing. And if I want to make these numbers in column instead of row, I will put X here, and then I will put a column here, and that will make my numbers into the column instead of the row. Similarly, if we have the data in our column and we want to get that data into row, we have to just put a column on it. Similarly, if I put column here, I just select that and just put a column here. It will just make our data into the into row instead of sorry, into column instead of row. So let me move that. So next we have y, and we want to consider its sign. We want to take the sign. So that's how we can consider the sine, cos, tangent, secant, and all other such mathematical operations, and then we want to plot x and y. Let me click on CLC and clear all. Let me click on run, and let me click on step. So when I click on plot, so here we have a plot, and now there are labeling. We want to label x, label the x content at x-axis and y-axis, and we want to make it a title here. So let me click on step, and here you can see our labeling: y-axis, x-axis, and sine wave. So there is another example, and that is scatter plot. So we want to create a random 1 to hundreds. We want to create 100 numbers from 1 to 100 and random 1 to. Let me click on step. So we have the 100 random numbers, and that 100 numbers. Okay, so we want to create here random 100 random numbers. So that range is between 0 to 1, and we want to create another random numbers 1 to 100, and that is scatter. So similarly, as we have plot, and we have another instruction that is scatter. Let me copy that, and let me put here doc and put scatter here. When I click on enter, here you can see the details about that scatter. Here you can search about anything plot, and you want to learn about the plot, and if you want to anything else, axis, and anything, any instruction. Let me search about the input. Let me search about the read. So all the instructions you may search in this help section, and it will show you how you can utilize the it will show you the example first, and then it will explain how you can utilize that and achieve your. And then here is scatter. Let me click on step, and here is a plot for scatter. So this is the scatter plot. So means it shows us the number here, and click on step, and it will. So let me click on plot, and in plot section, let me open this 2D line plot, and under this 2D line plot we have C also. So we can GCA, hold, legend, log, plot 3, title, x label, x len. So here are different kind of instructions. So if I want to explore more about the log, I have to click here, and it will show me the progress, how to deal with it. So that's how you can master your experience with the MATLAB program. And next in our course we have importing and exporting data. So for example, this I have let me right click, and I can open this thing with the MATLAB program, but make sure you have Office installed in your PC. And I can also open outside the MATLAB, and I want to open it outside the MATLAB, And here I have created uh, um, serial number, table of 2 and table of 6. I have some content, and I want to import that data into my MATLAB program. So here I previously I have renamed it to import, and uh, MATLAB just show me warning that there is a built-in command for import, and it's just mixing up and making conflict with that, so just rename it. And so just at that time I just see the notification, and then I just import it. So let me click on import, and again let me clear all and CLC. So I want to remove all the other variables, and I want clear workspace. So here let me left click here, click on step and table, and let me click on step. So when I click on step, sorry, so I have to MATLAB have created some unexpected errors, so that's why a little delay. So that's happen normally. So whenever you are not satisfied and MATLAB is not working, you just restart the MATLAB program, and most of the time be it will be fine, and it will execute the commands properly. So let me click on step here. So when I click on import, so it's just showing that we are into the import file, and we have data here. So here we have data here in our import, and this is the serial table of 2 and table of 6, and I want to let me write here data. I just write data here, and here you can see that. So in data I can extract the data as per my own choice. I want to extract the data from the second row, all the rows, and the second column. So I just extract the data from that. So that's how I can extract the data. And even if I want to write table, and now at this time next I want to uh, write table data. Let me click on step. So let me adjust the variable a little bit, and this is the data. This is the data, and let me remove that. So this is the write table. So this write table means that the data which is inside our variable. So this is the name of the variable which is currently present at let me open the answer. Okay, in our answer we have this. So if I want to this is the 5 rows and 1 column. So if I want to, let me click on answer. So this is the variable, I mean this is the data which I want to put into this file, or I want to export the data answer into output.csv. So when I click on save, so let me click on step again. So here you can see that this file previously not present here, and now it's present. So let me open outside the MATLAB. So here you can see we have that data. Let me show you another example, and that is a little bit advanced example. I will put all the files in the in a downloadable link, and put the videos in the script files into the video description, so you may easily download that. So let me share that here. Here this is a load flow program which we already have explained in our channel, and here you can see that we have this section. So this is the table, and this will be the serial number, and this will be the first variable, this is the second variable, this is the third variable, and this is the fourth variable. 1 2 3 4 5. So here we have 5 variables. So let me run that program to change folder. Let me uncomment that, click on save. So here when I let me run this genetic algorithm code 3, just okay. Now I am into this file, and here I have the SR. So let me, so this is the first variable. Actually I have removed that. Here you can see that this P loss have 33 values, this Q loss have 33 values, or 33 rows and 1 column, and this angle also removed, this voltage. So let me at the right moment, let me remove angle and let me remove the SR. So we have here 3 variables, and here we have to all the rows and columns should be 1 to 3 instead of 5. So we have to name this file as this file and write table sheet 1. Okay, let me click on save. Let me click on G again. Let me run artificial bee colony 3 1 1 1. Okay, click on step. Here you can see that we don't have any Excel sheet. Let me click on step, and now we have to write the table. So these will be the titles of that file, and the content inside that will be their content. So here we get the MATLAB file for that, P loss, Q loss, and voltage. So similarly you can write the data for that. So that's how you can write, import and export as per your own choice. And further, if you want to take more content related to it, you can just search the right table here, open it, and just read more in more. Okay, so next we have here in our course, so next is debugging and the troubleshooting. So let me open this thing and let me click on run. When I click on step, it says that not enough input argument. So whenever we run a program or file and we get some kind of errors, it will show us that at a certain line there is something. So it shows not enough input arguments, means we have mentioned a variable here, and that variable don't have any kind of data. So at line number 9 we have number of DG. So let me select that, and number DG. So that number of DG, actually that's a function file, and that number of DG we have to take data from somewhere else. So let's suppose I want to num underscore DG. Let me put a random data, so 3 4 and 5. Let me click on save. Let me click on run again. So now it shows that not enough input argument for this line number 10. When I click here, it will move me to that. So it means that on when I click on DG, okay, let me copy that because our variables are here in this section. Let me click here DG and put enter. So it means undefined function or variable, so means we don't have any kind of data for this DG file. So that's how you can tackle the problem. You can left click here, start and debugger, and just tackle down what kind of error you are facing and what kind of issue is actually. So that's how. Let me remove that, click on save. Let me open the another file and see another kind of error. Okay, let me get back again to that import and export file. Let me click on run, click on continue, and it says the undefined function or variable ends 1, means that we don't have data for I just change from ans to ans1. And if I want to make a special character inside that, it will show definitely a error, or when I have write some when I have write instruction in a wrong way, it will definitely show us that there is some error. And here you can see this writes square and this point, or if you have removed any kind of this bracket, small bracket, here you can also see there is some kind of error that might missing a closing. So it will definitely show you the error, that which kind of error you are doing or interpreting. And next, and a practical example, data analysis. Okay, let me create another script file. Let me click on script, let me paste the code here, let me save here, and just practical example ex. Let me open. So here you can see that read table means we have to read the table, and that data should be data.csv. Here you can see that our Excel sheet is in form of XLSX. So if our data is, let's, table, and you have to rename it properly, XLSX. Let me click on save, let me click on run. When I click on run, so I'm trying to get different kind of errors. So whenever it shows an internal error occur, so read table, so there is some issue with the read table when I click on line 216. So this is the code for MATLAB program inside itself, so there's no need to worry about that. The error is inside this line number 2. Okay, line number 2, and error in practical ex read table table.xlsx. So let me, yeah, it's case sensitive. So previously it was a small t, and now it's the capital T. So now there is a error, unrecognized table variable name value. When I click on line 3, data, and okay, data and table dot value, okay, mean table dot value. So let me open that. Okay, so I have just created some more, added some more content to it, so this thing will be cleared up. So initially we are going to import data from the table.xlsx as this file name. So make sure it should be same capital and small letters. Let me left click here, click on step. Okay, when I click on step, okay, let me clear everything. Just make sure remove the Excel file. Let me click on step, click on step. So now I have data, and in form of data we have different in Excel sheet we have 3 columns. So first one is value, second one is table 2, and third one is table 6. So right now I want to find the mean inside the data file. So this data, all the data from table file is now into our MATLAB program, and that data is actually in form of data variable. So inside data variable we have 3 columns. So first one is value, So here data dot value means the first column, this column, because this column is named as value. So previously, as I show you how you can write table on against name, just like the power losses or Q losses or angles, so the name and the numbers. So this name value have these numbers, and we know that we have mean here 3. So when I click on step, so we have mean value 3. So right now at this point I have data. Inside data we have table 2, another variable, that is table 2, and here we have mean 6, and I just name it mean value 1. When I click on step, here we have mean 6, and there is a standard deviation. We want to find the standard deviation for data value. For this we have to click on step, we have standard deviation, and then we want to find the mean for this mean value for this content. So we have to click on step and standard deviation. So we just displayed here, click on step. Okay, we have mean, standard deviations, and here we have a plot histogram for that, and let's just label it. And here we have done with its labeling. So that's how we have done that. And in our content section we have almost advanced topics. I have done many things advanced. I have explained within this explanation, and additional resources inclusion. I will make another video for the advanced and pro techniques and variables related to MATLAB. So please like the video and share it with your friends, and hopefully this video will helps you a lot. So make sure you just put your put comments and give me your concern or the topics which you want to me to explain. So at the end, thanks for watching.